I was born on July 27th. That makes me a Leo. I have no idea what that actually means. I'm 5'6". I weigh 145 pounds. I don't know how to swim, and I'm a sucker for a girl with a nice smile and clean sneakers. I'm still learning how to whisper. I'm often loud in places where I should be quiet. I'm often quiet in places where I should be loud. I was born feet first, and I've been backwards ever since. I like ginger ale a lot. And I've been told that I give really bad hugs. People say that it feels like I'm trying to escape. Sometimes it's because I am. Secretly, I get really nervous every time someone gets close enough to hear me breathe. I have this odd fascination with things like sandcastles and ice sculptures. I assume it's because I usually find myself dedicating time to things that will only last a few moments. It's also why I tend to fall in love with things that will never love me back. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually much easier than it seems. And to be honest, I think it's safer that way. See, relationships, they often remind me that I'm not afraid of heights or falling, but I'm scared of what's gonna happen the moment that my body hits the ground. I'm clumsy. Yesterday, I tripped over my self-esteem. I landed on my pride and it shattered like an iPhone with a broken face. Now, I can't even tell who's trying to give me a compliment. I've never been in the military, but I have this Purple Heart. I got it from beating myself up over things I can't fix. I know this sounds weird, but sometimes I wonder what my bed sheets say about me when I'm not around. I wonder what the curtains would do if they found out about all the things I've done behind their backs. I've got a hamper that's overflowing with really, really loud mistakes and a graveyard in my closet. I'm afraid that if I let you see my skeletons, you'll grind my bones into powder and get high on my fault lines. Hi. My name is Rudy. I enjoy frozen yogurt, people watching, and laughing for absolutely no reason at all. But I don't allow myself to cry as often as I need to. I have solar power confidence. I have a battery-operated smile. My hobbies include editing my life story, hiding behind metaphors, and trying to convince my shadow that I'm someone worth following. I don't know much, but I do know this. I know heaven is full of music. I know God listens to my heartbeat on his iPod. It reminds him that we still got work to do. Thank you. How we doing? We still good? How we doing? We still good? Cool part about that poem is that after I wrote it, I dropped my iPhone and it cracked. And my friend was like, oh, you know, like an iPhone with a cracked face. And I was like, shut up. So how much time do I have left? What's my time looking like? 5 minutes? Okay, awesome. So I have one more poem. Is that okay? Can I do one more? Is that all right? Can I do a love poem? Is that all right? All right. I don't know which one to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. All right. So actually, I'm gonna do a medley. Because there's a couple that I want to do, so I'm gonna throw them together. Here we go. It's not like you guys knew. I was kind of having this conversation by myself. So here we go. This poem is called To the Girl Who Works at Starbucks Down the Street from my house on Delmar Heights Road. Swear to God, I'm not a stalker. That's the whole title. When I asked you for a chai latte, what I meant to say was I was walking past, I saw you in the window, I came in here because I had to know what your voice sounded like. Instead of saying that, I got really nervous and ordered the first thing on the menu. Honestly, I don't even know what chai is. Or a latte for that matter. I imagine that when God made you, I bet he cussed for the first time. I bet he turned to an angel, gave him a high five, and said, God damn, I'm good. You were that beautiful. I spent the last 5 days trying to figure out how I'm gonna introduce myself to you properly. Finally figured it out. It's gonna be something like, hi. That's all I got so far. But I think it's a good start. I was told the average girl begins to plan her wedding at the age of 7. I was told she picks the colors and the cake first. That by the age of 10, she knows the time and the location. By 17, she's already chosen the gown and a maid of honor. By 22, she's waiting for a man who doesn't break out into hives when he hears the word commitment. Someone who doesn't smell like a Band-Aid drenched in lonely. Someone who is more than a temporary solution to the empty side of the bed. Someone who will hold her hand like she is the only one that he's ever seen. I don't really know what my wedding will look like. I have no idea what my wedding will look like, but I imagine the woman who pins my last name to hers, she will butterfly down the aisle like a 5-foot promise. I imagine her smile will be so big that you will see it on Google Maps to know exactly where our wedding is being held. The woman that I plan to marry will have champagne in her walk, and I will get drunk on her footsteps. When the pastor asks me if I take this woman to be my wife, I will say yes before he even finishes the sentence. I'll apologize later for being impolite, but I will also explain to him that our first kiss happened 6 years ago, and I've been practicing my yes for the past 2,165 days. When people ask me about my wedding, I never really know what to say. When they ask me about my future wife, I always tell them that her eyes are the only Christmas lights that deserve to be seen all year long. I tell them that if I could, I would shape-shift into the first thing she thinks about in the morning just to make sure that no matter where I am in the world, I will always wake up next to her. I tell them she has a walk that can make an atheist believe in God just long enough to say, God damn. I tell them that if my alarm clock sounded like her voice, my snooze button would collect dust. That if she came in a bottle, I would drink her until my vision is blurry and my friends take away my keys. I tell them that I don't know what my wedding will look like. I have no idea when I will get married. But I do know this. Whenever I'm asked to describe my future wife, I do so as best as I can. And every single time, she sounds a lot like her. Thank you. So do I have time for a short poem? Okay, all right, so here we go. This is my last poem, I promise. So I was at another workshop and I was given the task of writing a poem as a letter to an event, right? We're doing a personification exercise. Personification is basically when you take an inanimate object and you give it human characteristics. So this was my letter to the apocalypse. A letter to the apocalypse. Dear Apocalypse, you've become the laughing stock of all disasters. I imagine hurricanes make fun of you. I bet your girlfriend is cheating on you with a snowstorm. Donald Trump says he wants to see your birth certificate. If you want a Grammy, Kanye West would interrupt you. Apocalypse, the people are laughing. They think you're just some prank call from God, a punchline in Revelations. They act like you're not the rapture, like you're not the last chapter of the Bible, like you're not wrath and lightning. Tell these people that you are the Armageddon, a clenched fist waiting for a reason, a hammer in the hand of divine intervention. They have clearly forgotten that you are hellfire and brimstone. They snicker when your name is mentioned in the conversation. They put LOL next to your name on Twitter. They laughing about you on Instagram. These people don't respect you. I'm not saying you should have ended the world in 2012. But you could have at least knocked down a tree. Sometimes, you have to let people know you mean business. Thank you. That's my time.